you're finally here. He said, did you miss me that much? I said, don't flatter yourself. He laughed, too late. I said, come on in, then close the door. He said, why are you whispering already? I said, because my neighbors have superpowers. He said, you mean good hearing? I said, exactly. Then click. I said, oh no, the power's out. He said, you planned this, didn't you? I said, seriously? He said, I'm just asking. I said, don't move. He said, I already moved. I said, into what? He said, I was hoping you knew. I said, keep your voice down. He said, nobody can even see us. I said, that's not what I'm worried about. He said, then what are you worried about? I smiled. You ask too many questions. I said, just stay where you are. He said, I'm trying. I said, no, you're definitely not. He said, did I step on something? I said, that was my shoe. He said, good. I asked, good. He said, I thought it was your foot. I couldn't stop laughing. I said, the flashlight is in the top drawer. He said, which top drawer? I said, the one beside the couch. A second later, he said, I found cookies. I said, that's the kitchen. He said, well, I'm making progress. I laughed, you are nowhere close. Then I heard something fall. I said, what was that? He said, I'd rather not say. I asked, was it expensive? He paused. Maybe. I sighed, it was my plant, wasn't it? He whispered, it used to be. Then somebody knocked on the front door. I froze, he froze. I whispered, don't answer. He whispered, why not? I said, because if they hear your voice. He said, they'll know I'm here. I nodded. He whispered, so? I smiled. So tomorrow I'll hear 10 different versions of tonight. He laughed so hard I had to shush him. Then, click, the lights came back on. I looked at him. He looked at me. I said, we spent all that time searching. He pointed to the coffee table. The flashlight was sitting there the whole time. He said, we're never telling anyone this. I laughed. Oh, we don't have to. He asked, why? I smiled. My neighbors already wrote their own